2025 is here, and while January is well underway, it's time to look at what we could expect for the Isle Evrima in 2025. While we have no proper official comments from the developers, we can piece together a rough idea of what we can expect. So, let's get right into it. With Dinosaurs now released into the game and causing absolute havoc, it's now time we look towards the next batch of dinosaurs we can expect to see in the game. If it's anything to go by, the living roadmap will likely give us a good indication of what's to come in the future, as well as some previous teasers for the game giving us good ideas as well. Out of the roadmap dinosaurs, so far we have Dilophosaurus, Herrerasaurus, Diabloceratops, and Maiasaura, leaving Oviraptor, Tyrannosaurus, and Triceratops. Now personally, I do not think we'll be getting Oviraptor, and so I only think 2 out of the 3 that are mentioned here will come this year, Tyrannosaurus and Triceratops. The reason being is that Oviraptor hasn't really had much development for the best part of a year, and hasn't even been shared that much in development blogs. Both Rex and Trike have been given a lot of updates, from animation teasers and talk on how they will be implemented. In fact, when they were first mentioned, they said it is unlikely when they are released to be onto official servers due to their position in the game's roster. So they'd end up joining Stegosaurus's official dinosaurs, not on official servers, eventually when Stegosaurus gets removed. But both of them I still do think will release in somewhat of the near future. The best bet for either of these is some form of release this year. But there are another handful of dinosaurs that I think are heating up in development as well, one of which was actively teased and others getting more and more work done to them. The first and obvious answer is Allosaurus. People rumoured this to come alongside Maiasaura, but other than that, it was teased in game via the Diabloceratops trail camera teaser video, indicating that this dinosaur itself is getting closer and closer to release. The next one is Austroraptor, our little semi-aquatic raptor that isn't actually that little. This has been seeing huge amounts of animation work over the last year, and will likely see a lot more progress as the year goes on. In fact, it was commented at the end of 2024 by Kiss and Kitten that Rex, Trike, Allo, and Austro are all going to be showing up in the not so distant future for the game. And the last one, I'm a little bit less optimistic on if it's going to come this year, but that is Kentrosaurus. I've included it here because I do believe there is still that small chance that it may come to the game. With the developers wanting to move Stegosaurus out of the officials for the time being, I could see the possibility of a replacement coming for that in the future, and that in my eyes would be best fit as Kentrosaurus. Kentro is also in full swing development and has been for quite a while, although it is likely further behind compared to the dinosaurs mentioned prior. Anyways, that's the dinosaurs in my eyes. Now do bear in mind these aren't properly confirmed, it's just a rough estimate of what we could expect. Judging by developer comments themselves, Triceratops is looking to be the closest to some form of testing as of 2 weeks ago. Moving on, let's talk about some other stuff, shall we? New AI was noted to come to the game in future updates, and in-game dev blogs, the October dev blog namely. These will be for juvenile and hatchling dinosaurs to hunt and get to grips on hunting smaller critters. These will be in specific locations, although those locations haven't been fully noticed yet. That being said, you'll be able to expect the likes of grasshoppers, rats, dragonflies and lizards among many other little critters to come to the game when these little guys do come. Part of the director's commentary from Dondi at the end of September's dev blog that released on the 1st of October, the devs spoke briefly on changes to the UI that are in the works. This was something they had mentioned in a previous dev blog, but they spoke more on it here. This is coming to a rapid close. Moving from an old retro style the game is currently on to a more sleek design. At the time of showcasing this in the dev blog, the transitions were still rough, so they did not showcase that. But you can expect a far sleeker UI system that is way more user-friendly in my eyes. And honestly, personally, I really like it. I think it's absolutely great. That being said, I'd love to know your thoughts on this sleeker UI system. Hopefully it's going to be a lot less laggy than the current UI system is. Now this one is a very big maybe. because the Elder system was commented on quite a bit in the October devlog, with the developers basically saying that Elders are looking pretty good. I've attached some images of adults and Elder comparisons, some of which were already being moved into the game for current playables, of course indicating that they're moving some of these Elders for current playables in the game, most likely as test beds for the system, which could indicate some form of closed behind the doors very early testing implementation of this mechanic is underway. In addition to this, we did also get developer comments regarding the system itself, which was highlighted by the Allo News YouTube channel, which is Saphir Ceratosaurus, with the developers saying 2 weeks ago, the Elder system closes the gameplay loop, which you want to take some doing to achieve, but more general things to do with your animal is what patrols are for. The rest they discuss about patrols themselves, but we did get a heap of new screenshots showcasing a bunch of Elder models, as I mentioned in that previous dev blog. These were for many dinosaurs like Carnotaurus, Ceratosaurus, Bapialsaurus, Pachycephalosaurus, and even unreleased dinosaurs for the game like Kentrosaurus and Allosaurus as well. Pre-existing dinosaurs will likely be updated as the year goes on, like we saw with last year with several changes to pre-existing dinosaurs in the game. Pteranodon is one of the ones you'll likely see get updates this year, as Kiss and Kitten did mention 2 weeks ago that Pteranodon will be getting several changes, so that's one of the ones you can look towards. In addition to this, Troodon as well will likely be getting some love. It was mentioned the developers are aware of the pounce related issues with Troodon, so that is something they plan to address in the future. Of course, likely something small to come this year as well. Now, of course, with dinosaur updates, you can't really predict what's going to happen. These are often changes based off community feedback that developers will see and then act upon. And it's likely we'll get a lot more as the year goes by. But, of course, now it's time to go into the final thing, which is humans, because I think it's important to talk about them just a smidge. The world of the Isle will likely see some big changes. A lot of human structures have been teased and in development for the most part of last year, with each devlog teasing more and more. It is always likely that in this year we'll see more of them getting added to the game as well. These could include the gut system that was teased, as well as large dinosaur enclosures, one of which was teased alongside a Tyrannosaurus screenshot, which could indicate maybe they'd come alongside each other. I'm not sure many large human gameplay changes will come to the game this year. I think it's more likely to be more so world building stuff. I'm not really sure if we will see any major changes like guns or a proper human gameplay loop or even those Gen 1s, as I do think the focus this year is more on the upcoming dinosaurs and dinosaur related systems before they properly start to lock down the human related systems. But of course, that's everything you could expect to come to the Isle in 2025. Let me know your thoughts and let me know what you think you could see to come to the game this year and what you're most excited for. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you are new, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.